Today we have a really special guest, a friend of mine, logistics entrepreneur, and the host of the Sales Chatter podcast, DJ Flores. DJ, welcome to the show, brother.
What's going on, man? Thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you for being here, man. I really appreciate you coming on the show.
Of course. No, I'd love to share the stories, especially the hard ones.
We'll get right into those, but how about we start with the 30-second pitch of who is DJ?
Oh, man. Serial entrepreneur, I guess you would say. Co-host of Sales Chatter Live, daily podcast of basically just self-improvement is the big key that we are about. It is sales and focused around sales and logistics, but really it's just self-development and always improving to do more, be more, and achieve more.
Nice. And from your perspective, obviously you're having some mental health issues and struggles with mental health. How does that affect you being an entrepreneur on a daily basis?
Whew, I think that's the thing. It's
You good?
I think you're lagging. I think something's going on with the connection.
Wait, can you hear me?
Yeah, but it's delayed. It's very delayed.
Weird.
Your video connection.
Oh, yeah.
And this time.
Oh, don't worry about that. I'll fix that later. As long as I get the audio, that's the main thing. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you cut out and then came back in, so I didn't catch the one part.
Oh shit! Okay, all right. I'll ask you again. So, yeah, as someone that struggles with mental health and depression, anxiety, how does that affect your daily life as an entrepreneur?
It was very tough, just especially being in sales. Being in sales, my whole life. That uncertainty is a dark place sometimes, but I think the big key was really learning a lot of self-awareness, how to kind of come inward and really just focus on me and being aware of what I'm feeling at certain times. It makes it a lot easier to just calm that. Calm before you get that, again, depression, never really would have said. And I think it's such a dark word, sounds so
It's
scary.
like a stigma around the word.
But I think...
There's like a stigma around the word?
Yes, yeah. And so I think it sounds almost like going to a therapist, psychiatrist. I was just actually talking to the lady that introduced me to Giant, that program I was telling you about. And we were talking today, and she said, people just don't understand, what if they don't understand coaching or don't think they need coaching? And I said, that's... What was that?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay, yeah. And so she just said, what if they don't believe in coaching? And I said, it's a thing. I think a lot of people feel like coaching means there's something wrong with you or something that needs fixed. And you right away go to this, oh no, I'm being judged, or this. And once you can be more self-aware to what's going on, you can fight that.
So you've learned how to identify the triggers that actually put you into the spirals and...
Correct, yes.
Nice.
Learning your voice. Yeah. Learning my voice was learning the key to learning those triggers, really.
Nice. Let's take a step back there. So when was the first time you realized that you actually might have depression? Yeah.
Ooh. So that was turning 40. I think that's for anybody who's listening on this right now who might be around this age. But turning 40, going through COVID, I've been a guy who's worked my whole life, entire life, just always working to go not working, in a position to be able to not work. But not working was like the first time I was like, hold on, what am I doing? And so... a total spiral, okay, I'm losing my mind. And depression, again, I think depression, the word itself, is just a moment that we have that we can either end up stuck there, living there, or I think for me, what really helped was when I got in those moments, okay, I'm in this dark place. And if you could picture a cartoon of all of a sudden it's just getting darker and you're turning from color to all of a sudden you're just go Coco, let's say. I'm turning into a skeleton, and then eventually I'm going to be this full skeleton. That's depression, but I think you have to, what I've figured out was swimming in that and figuring out what I needed to learn in that moment. I feel like it was almost, to me, I used it to almost trick myself to think, okay, I need to learn something right here. There's something in this moment I need to learn, and it's not this darkness that is like closing in on me.
It's an interesting take. So let's analyze that for a second. You're trying to teach yourself something. Those are the words that are going through your head. What exactly are you teaching yourself? Is it like how to pick yourself up? Is it how to actually come to grips with what you're feeling? What are you actually thinking right then and there?
Yeah, so in the moment, it really is. So once I feel it always feels like the same. It's an anxiety feeling. It's almost like your heart's racing, almost like, okay, you're ready to snap at any second. Anything could trigger to the next level. Once you can feel that, then it's okay, why am I feeling this? And so it's a book I read, Trevor Millett, super great book. It Takes What It Takes. And his main thing is about neutral thinking. And when I learned that and learned to, okay, this happened, it is what it is, let's deal with it, stop, now think, what are we doing next? And really just not being more in the moment and stopping myself to understand what the next thing is was very crucial to, I guess, keeping the beast in, if you would say.
You're basically teaching yourself, stop dwelling on the shit that happened to me or happened in the past because I can't do shit about it. You focus on now, what am I doing right now? What am I doing next?
Yeah.
Okay. That's...
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Just not letting go of, again, this podcast, doing the podcast, this sales podcast has been life-changing, but just the people I've been able to meet, talk to, their books, their information, and just being on this journey of a sponge of just self-development and self-improvement. Rico Rikoski wrote a book, Two Choices. And when I was able to put that feeling, especially that COVID, going through this unknown and this, okay, I've never been that scared. I just knew, and this is what I'm going to do. And it was, okay, no, I don't know what I'm going to do next. And so that, and putting into the idea that we make choices, I think we make, as a regular human makes some 30 or 40,000 choices a day. And if every single choice that we make, there's just two choices, that one takes us toward our goal and one that takes us away, as long as I just make sure that I'm making more good choices than bad choices, I can't worry about the shit that I keep making the wrong choices on. And that's where I think our brain is our own worst enemy. We're our biggest critic. We're our biggest defeater. We're our biggest, most of the stuff we worry about never even happens. It's just in our head.
That's actually, I believe that's true too. Especially people that suffer from anxiety, we come up with a million different scenarios in our head of things that could possibly happen.
A million.
And some of them are so absolutely far-fetched, and it's like, even sometimes...
Yeah, yes, I agree. The crazy...
I sit there sometimes, I'll have an anxiety attack about something that's, at the time, feels very real to me. But then I'll think about it like a couple of hours later, I'm like, that just seems completely implausible. There's no way in any parallel universe that could actually happen. And and it's crazy. It's just crazy where the human mind can go.
That's hilarious, yes. But it was a mixture of this battle of, I think the biggest the depression trigger for me was the battle of fighting this spiritual battle that I always had with myself, of being raised Catholic, born and raised Catholic my whole life, and then but wondering there's more to this, and some of this doesn't make sense, and then really questioning. I've always been a person that questioned things, but questioning things inwardly, and really dug deeper than most people want to ever dig. And that's, so I think in a lot of ways it's the cause of my own depression. Just because it's, hold on, this doesn't seem right. You all are just, you seem like you guys, everybody else, it seemed like they had masks on. Until I really learned, like, what was me and what I was feeling and going through was like, okay, hold on. No, I'm just, there's different things with me.
Yeah. So you basically, raised a certain way with certain beliefs your entire life, and then you just later on in life you just change your mindset. Like you start questioning your beliefs and your religion. That's it's not the first time I've heard something like that, but that's definitely a trigger for depression and anxiety, because basically your entire belief system is flipped upside down. Yeah,
you start to question everything. And I think as society as a society today, I think we're all in that position in one way or another. We're all wondering, okay, some of this stuff just isn't adding up anymore. And that's,
I 100% agree with that, man. I came from when I was living in Australia, I went to a very Christian religious high school, and they pushed all these beliefs on us and things like that. And because I'm more of a scientific analytic kind of mind, like even as a young age, I'm trying to believe the things that they're telling me, but back in my mind I got these voices saying, this doesn't add up. And people can believe, I think it's great, people can have faith, people can believe whatever they want to believe in, but there are some people that you get to a point of their lives where it has a negative effect on them because they want to believe something, but the other side of their mind is telling them, no, this isn't a good fit for you.
Dude, I'm telling you, you're speaking my language, man. Yeah, I agree completely. And that was the journey. It was like, okay, first so I'm wearing this shirt, believe. I've always had, I guess I believe, and it's my voice. Again, doing that 5 voices thing and learning your voice. My voice, I'm a connector, creative nurturer is what my voice is. And then it actually goes even 5 layers deep. There's 5 different voices: creative, nurturer, pioneer, guardian, and connector. And so I'm a connector. Connectors are rare. We're big dreamers, crazy ideas. We can get ideas out there, but we're not the ones we need a pioneer to help us push things to the finish line. And so not now understanding that and just really understanding me helped me understand some of those hard times that I went through, knowing, okay, I was actually my own worst enemy at that time. It wasn't that person or this, but really it's learning who I am. And I think that's the biggest journey of life, I think, for all of us, is once we really take this as a journey to learn ourselves as much as we can, it's amazing kind of what starts to happen.
So you're talking about these moments in your life where you're questioning what you believe in. You're at a point where you're questioning even what you're doing in life. You've always worked. You're not working at the moment. How did that impact your relationships as well with your wife, your kids? What did you go through there?
Oh, it's tough. It's obviously dealing with any hard times, especially depending on the kind of person you are. If you're normally somebody who bottles things up or keeps things in, which most people dealing with something like this is, it's almost like you're a ticking time bomb. Like my nickname for my kids and my wife for the longest time was 0 to 100 real fast. That was their line for me, and it was that just snap in a heartbeat. And it's tough. It's a tough thing if you don't know how to control it. And I think mental health is something I think we don't talk about enough. I don't think it's something that's focused on enough, that people really need to check in daily on.
What would be your rock bottom moment in terms of your depression, mental health, when you realize, fuck, I need to change what I'm doing right now because I can't keep doing this?
So I would say, again, that would be just in this past two years, was the whole, I went on this whole crazy journey been in sales my whole life, raised in a certain level of society. Shoot, I went to private school, but so it's almost like they call people now house poor or car poor. And my parents were school poor. They sent us to private school, so we got clothes from the thrift store. We got everybody else has real nice shit, and my parents are half everybody else's age. All of those things look totally different. So it's kind of like living life where the top half of me is in color, like the Wizard of Oz, and the back half of me is still in black and white, like with my parents. And so I got almost like a peek behind the curtain that made me want more, but really not know how to get there. So I think that was a hard pill to swallow as I started to really dissect myself and like once you can fix the kid, we all have a kid in us. We all have a past. Dr. Bruce Lipton, super smart dude that I believe in so much. The power of our mind and what we do and the programming that we create, especially from kids. Most of the beliefs that we have, even from birth, whether you come and most of your environment is one that believes in science and the big boom, or if you're grow up where, your family's Catholic, everybody around you's Catholic, and it's Jesus and God, you're already forced into this group of ideas that if you don't question those, you never really know. And that's this biggest period of my life was questioning a lot of that, but it was tying all of that information from all of these super smart people. Dr. Bruce Lipton, Matthew McConaughey, great book, Green Lights. All of these things that really just made me start to question certain things. It was kind of like, okay, shit, what am I? What have I been doing? And this is not right. But yeah,
seems like you pulled yourself out from a pretty dark, but also confusing, place in your life. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was. Yes.
Was it just the self-help stuff and the self-training that you're doing, or did you actively seek a therapist or anything like that?
Honestly, so never. And again, because of the same strong beliefs of God and the same strong beliefs of nobody, if you go to a therapist, you're a crazy person. Nobody thinks that. Everybody, at least in my inner circle, up until really expanding, but then when you realize, okay, I just didn't fit there because I think a little bit higher, a little bit different. I'm opening my mind to these different levels of what's really going on. There's, again, depending on whoever is listening to this today, where you came from and where you end up are usually two places that are different, but sometimes not far from the other. And I think the ones who really push, there's the 1% of the world that's out there for a reason. 99% of us, I feel like, are just we're living the same cycle in a new generation of our parents or past generations, but we're never really trying to break through. There's so many different levels and so many different stages of this world and life, and we're so small to what's really going on, and tying that all together was a great awakening for me, but also a very scary thing. Okay, hold on. What did I do? What have I been wasting my time thinking? Why did I believe these certain things? And now what am I going to do?
Okay, that's interesting. Let's say I'm going to make an 80s movie reference here. Let's say you're Marty McFly, right? You have a time machine, you go back in time, you can talk to young DJ at any moment of your life. What would you go back and tell yourself before or during you went through this shitty part of your life?
I would tell myself, just like I would tell any kid today, anybody listening to this, don't judge yourself based on everybody around you. Always just focus on yourself and being better than you were the day before. And even just the choice before. Okay, I just ate that donut. Now don't eat another 12. I'm going to say no, and I'm not going to eat any more. I just had that drink. Don't have another 12. To go deeper, say I'm going to stop.
Yeah.
tell yourself that it's okay who you are and just continue to learn to be better. And as long as you choose to do the right thing, which is not going to hurt you, hurt anybody else, just find your passion, chase your passion, and figure out how to find happiness as quick as you can, because it's out there. And it's not by success, it's not by the things you have, but it's more by what you feel about yourself.
That is $1 million advice right there. So what's next for you, man? What's next in your life?
Dude. So I have a lot of free time right now in between things besides the podcast. Just trying to weigh a few opportunities. I did some business consulting. I really love business, really love helping like startups. Most of my career, I really never focused on tracing back until this journey, but has been with small, local, like mom and pop startups. And I was either the first or the starting of their sales team, which then grew to this either really big organization that just recently sold. Shout out to, they know who they are. Yeah, just different things like that. And so really love that. I got an opportunity to work with these ladies on this luxury Turkish furniture. They approached me with an equity deal. I'd have to put in some sweat for it, so I'm weighing that out. But yeah. Other than that, in the acquisition of buying a flea market, have some crazy ideas with that. Really just, I have this vision of, instead of these big monopolies being run by just a team of people in the club, I'd like the club to be a lot bigger and not so wealthy. And so that's my vision of my flea market acquisition. We'll see just more about spreading the wealth.